Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tyranny. In the last episode we were exploring the outside area of Lethian, or Lethian's Crossing, and there's still a couple or few houses left to be explored, so we are going to explore those, and then we go inside the Forgebound's smithery here and get a quest from there. And then in the last episode we also recruited the sixth and last party member, Sirin, Archon of Song, who is basically a support, mostly a support character and basically a bard, who I assume plays very similarly to the Chanter class in Pillars of Eternity. We haven't had the chance to test her out in an actual combat encounter just yet, but hey, we'll get our chance eventually. Maybe not in this episode, but hopefully sooner than later. And now, without further ado, let's continue with the rest of the game. So if I remember correctly, there's supposed to be. Actually, let's go here just real fast.
Sorry, I can't.
Just to see if there's any doors here. No.
Sorry,
okay.
I can't.
No doors here. I believe that we could go inside here at least. Yes, we can. So let's do just that. All right, and you are Eldian. If my memory does not betray me, he's the elder of this town, or something along those lines. Well met, Fatebinder, and welcome to Lethian's Crossing. Yeah, sure, thanks. But now, you don't mind if I help myself with your bed sheets here. And we have all the camping supplies we need. What do we have here? Just some water. Alright, so Eldian, what's your deal? The sunburnt man dips his head in greeting. An outsider never arrives alone. At least that is what my mother always said. Seems she knew what she was talking about. He nods thoughtfully at his own words. I'm Eldian. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing. I'm so used to call this place Lethian's Crossing, so getting used to calling this place as Lethian is gonna take some time. You must be the one everyone is talking about. Tunon's Fatebinder, right? Eldian looks you over. We could have used your help when Kairos' forces tried to take Lethian's Crossing, though I suppose you would have been fighting on their side, wouldn't you? But the Brotherhood overcame, and now we are saddled with their continued leadership. He shrugs. I suppose they are worse fates. Hearing stories about your exploits in Vendrian's Well, I expected you to be 12 feet tall and shoot fire from your mouth. Can't always tell the contents of a pie from its crust, can you? Well, I guess not. But enough of my prattling. You didn't come here for a history lesson or to get my opinion of your grandeur. He waves his hand dismissively at his previous comments. I see that you have collected the Archon of Song. He bows slightly to Sirin. You are taking her with you, yes? And Sirin is going to say something, I take it. Yes. Nobody's collected me, old man. Sirin scowls down her nose at Eldian. I am only too happy to see the last of your fetid backwater trading post. Well, that's not very nice. Of course, mistress. Archon. Eldian scratches the back of his head. We always treasure your presence here at the crossing. He coughs and turns his attention to you. I wonder if he still be hypnotized by Sirin in some way. What can this old fool do for you? Well, can I ask him some questions about Lethian's Crossing? If you have questions about our settlement, I'm the one to ask. I have the dubious distinction of being the oldest living resident of Lethian's Crossing. Or Lethian's Crossing, whatever. So I've been here for a lot of its history. Eldian smiles. Eyes, hips, hair, and hearing might be failing, but my mind still remembers everything that happened here. What would you like to know about? I'll do my best and not to go on too long about it. I know I have a problem keeping my conversation short. I would like to ask about the crossing's history. I don't really care about that. And besides, we know that quite well already. What can you tell me about the spire in Lethian's Crossing? And yeah, in case you don't remember the history of this place, then here. There we go. So, the Spire. Tell me your thoughts on the Bronze Brotherhood. Tell me what you think about the Disfavored. How have your interactions with the Scarlet Chorus been? I'm pretty sure I'm going to need directions around here. Nah, we don't. Well, tell me about the Spire for starters. There's no getting used to it. You would think that after years of living under its shadow that your nerves would calm, but that never happened for me. You can only be so relaxed when your neighbors are the bane. The moment you let your guard down around one of those old walls, my friend, you are done. Now Lethian wasn't completely mad to settle here. She ventured inside and found sealed passageways that made it impossible to wander too far beyond the entrance. She figured that meant that the Bane couldn't easily reach us, either. Whoever created this monstrosity wanted us to stay out, and that's exactly what we have done. It hasn't been a perfect arrangement. There have been incidents. He grimaces at the recollection. But for the most part, the Bane don't venture out so long as you don't venture in. We just have to stay vigilant every day. Can I enter the old walls? Even though it is illegal and we don't really have any very good reason to go in. Well, might as well ask. Must you enter? Surely there's another. He stops himself, adopting a self-confrontational tone. Nobody will stop you, Fatebinder, if that's what you mean. If you have business inside, I can only assume that it must be an important matter. The old walls are unpredictable, plain and simple. The Bane may leave you be today, but I'm not the sort to gamble when it comes to those abominations. All right. So tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. Something tells me that you are not a huge fan of them. They were here since the crossing was founded. Lethian herself hired them to protect the settlement when it was just getting started. A fledgling town in the shadow of the old walls. They did such a good job. She kept them on as our peacekeepers, and that's how things went. They are good enough sort, but when Nerat offered to pay them to help Kairos' forces, I knew we were in for some trouble. Taking pay from two employers is always going to end badly if you can't make both of them happy. On top of it all, it seems lately that right someone is following a path only he can see, and I am not looking forward to what he finds at the end. Alright, and what do you think about the Disfavored? I'm not sure what to say, honestly. I have heard rumors that the Disfavored are a tough, disciplined crew, but the Bronze Brotherhood were able to force them out of the crossing without much trouble. I'm sure there must have been extenuation circumstances, but until I see something to change my mind, that's how I feel. Well, fair enough. And the Scarlet Chorus. Can't say that I have a strong opinion one way or the other, really. They didn't seem to care much about leaving the settlement behind. But they put up what seemed to be a token resistance when the Brotherhood drove them out. But once they left, I haven't really seen much of them. Okie dokie. I have other questions? Well, actually I don't. Okie dokie. Well, I guess that Eldian is not that important just yet. Maybe some other quest will lead us here eventually. But until then. Okay, and now there should be at least 2 other houses we can enter above here on the second level here. Oh, and I still don't know how we're supposed to get to the Bastard's Wound, the content of the expansion. If I understood correctly, I'm supposed to get a missive or letter from Tunon, which eventually will gives me a quest, which eventually leads me to the Bastard's Wound. But I haven't got a missive like that, have I? No, these are old. I haven't got any new ones. Oh yeah, and by the way, while I was actually editing the last episode, I noticed that I did find the what was it called, the volcanic weapon, sigil or accent or whatever it was. I did find that, but I didn't notice the name because I'm fucking blind. So I think it was Force that I had to take. And then here, not distant, in front of the caster, alright. Now, what was it? Range, sigil, recovery sigil, duration sigil. Maybe it wasn't force, what the hell was it? Let's check out fire. Focus intent, distant impact, influential domain, channeled strength. God damn it, where is it? It wasn't. Well, it's not this obviously, but there was another enchantment sigil right next to the frostfire, and that was the volcanic weapon thingy that I bought. Maybe. What does this do anyway? Great spells that affect all targets within a circular area. Alright. Let's check force real fast. Nope. Nope. Emotions. Nah, it can't be emotions. And I'm quite sure that it's not vigor either. God damn it. Where the hell is it? Recovery, duration, range, intensity. Frostfire. Shock. Oh, for fuck's sake, where? How did I find it? It should be here, but it's not this one. Frostfire. Am I being thick here? I don't know, folks. I have no fucking idea where that volcanic weapon enchantment is. God damn it. You know what? Whatever. We'll figure it out eventually. But anyway, right. So we can go inside this house, and if I remember correctly, there is there is one camper supply in that barrel, but we are full on them. So let's go inside this house. Aha, alright, so two ladies. If I recall correctly, these two are married. Oh, bronze hammer. It's superior. How is that? Well, it is admittedly much better than my axe that I'm using right now. Yeah, no, yeah, this is not too good for verse. Sure, she would get lots of damage, but losing 13 accuracy is not really worth it. I want her to actually hit something. But we can take that. We lose some armor penetration, but no matter. There we go. Although I would prefer either axes or swords because they look cooler. But whatever, we'll find one eventually.
That wasn't so hard.
Yeah. Alright, so what are you two up to? A bright-faced woman greets you as you approach. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing, Wanderer. My name is Phaedra, and this is my beautiful wife, Dea. Yeah. So yeah, I remembered correctly. She indicates the stone-faced blonde woman standing next to her, who holds up her hand in a quick greeting. What brings you to town? Is there anything I can help you with? Or what can you tell me about Lethian's Crossing? Or Bronze Brotherhood? Well, let's ask about both of them, why not? I have lived here most of my life, but honestly, I'm not sure there is much to say. She looks contemplative. We are a center for trade and a waypoint for travelers. The walls are a little scary, but you get used to them over time. She looks at Dea. What about you, dear? Dea shrugs, her expression never changing. What is there to say? The town is alright, but living under the thumb of an occupying force makes it hard to truly relax. Phaedra puts her hand on Dea's shoulder and Dea sighs. Sorry we couldn't be more help. Phaedra shrugs sheepishly. You haven't always lived here? Lived here, even. Several years before Kairos' invasion, I moved away from Lethian's crossing. Being the granddaughter of Lethian came with a responsibility I wasn't ready for. Ah, so you are granddaughter of Lethian, the founder herself. Okay. I met Dea in the bastard city and decided to stay for a while. We were living in the bastard city when we heard about Kairos' forces moving to the tiers, so we took that as our motivation to move. She laughs, and I think we got out of there at just the right time. We traveled a bit with a couple of caravans, but nothing really seemed like home until I returned to Lethian's crossing. You never realize how much you can miss a place until you have been away for a while. She wraps her arms around Dea and squeezes. But I could live anywhere as long as this one is with me. It's true that trade hasn't been as vibrant here recently, but I'm sure it's simply a temporary setback. The merchants will sing and dance for you, trying to convince you their suppliers are unaffected, but everyone is feeling it. I have faith the world will set itself soon enough. People call me a fool, but I don't see the benefit in bemoaning your fate. You take what life hands you and make it work. So you are Lethian's granddaughter. One of many, I suspect, but I'm the only one anyone knows about. And before you ask, no, Eldian is not my father. Maybe you haven't heard, but my grandmother wasn't exactly the settling down type. Okay. So, what's your opinion on the Bronze Brotherhood? I haven't had any real problems with them. They might be a little rough around the edges, but they seem to be trying to help the city. Well, that sounds nice. They can all hang. Dea interrupts, her face showing the first bit of true emotion since the conversation started. I have seen nothing but misery where they interfere. If you have the coin, they'll do anything. They are thieves and murderers, and I can't wait to see them trampled. She emphasizes her words by spitting on the ground between her feet. Well, if that's what you think about the Bronze Brotherhood, you haven't met the Scarlet Chorus yet. Luckily for you, I guess. Dea, Phaedra says, consoling her. I'm sorry about that. I'll do my best to make our lives here as easy as I can, but there's only so much you can do to alleviate the pain of the past. I don't think that will ever be fixed. Well, thanks for your time. Anytime, traveler, Phaedra says happily. If you need anything else, just let me know. Now, you might be wondering that what's the point of these two lesbian ladies here? Well, you can actually get a quest from one of them later on, or at least I got in my first playthrough. So they are not here just for the looks only. Okay, and I believe that there's one more house here over there. Yes. Alright, who are you two? I don't remember talking to you in the first playthrough. This wall appears to have been damaged years ago, but was never properly repaired. Or maybe I have. I'm not sure. So, who are you? Eldian is our true leader. Talk to him if you need something. Well, I already have. What about you? The old walls are dangerous. I wouldn't recommend going inside. Well, you guys are not much of use. Oh, and I almost didn't notice you. The Forgebound won't sell anything to us settlers. Maybe the reason why they're not selling anything to you is because you don't have enough money to buy any of their stuff. They are quite expensive, high quality stuff. Speaking about high quality, great bow. Let's see. Well, let's pick that up and compare with this. Yeah, this is simply better. Simple as that. A little bit DPS and some armor penetration, not a whole lot, but it's better than nothing. So there you go, verse. And here, Ashen Fruit and Potion of Elemental Barrier. Yeah, this might actually become quite important rather soon, I would imagine, considering what type of enemies we're gonna face soon, I think. And I think that was the last house where we can enter, if I'm not mistaken. Oh wait, there is that place. Alright, so there was one more. And of course there is the Forgebound Smithery, but we'll save that for the last. So, let's check this place out real quick.
Curious.
Aha, you found something, Verse? No. Just settlers. Who are you? The old walls are dangerous, I would recommend going inside. Alright, so nothing new. Oh, let's just steal all their shit, because we can. Raven Shawl of Rogues. Plus 10 subterfuge. This feathered garment reflects no light, and seems a natural extension of the darkness. I think we found an item like this, not too long ago. It might have been a different item in a sense that it had a different name and everything, but it also had this plus 10 subterfuge bonus. So Verse, what did you have on you again? Plus 1 quickness and parrying. We also had parrying thingy, didn't we? No. I think I want to give parrying back to me, because dodge is I think is more important stat for Verse, and we want parrying. Plus 2 resolve. What did resolve do again exactly? Might, quickness, wits, resolve. Affliction duration plus 14 endurance. Resolve determines a character's ability to endure physical and mental challenges. Resolve is the primary attribute used to derive the endurance, will and magic defenses. It also increases the duration of afflictions applied by the character. Alright, so we really want to keep the resolve. I like this one too. Frozen shackles are an impediment made for short-term prisoners. The cold air and volatile magic in their forging are intended as deterrents for notably cruel guards. So when we are critically hit, we deal 16 to 23 frost damage versus dodge. So basically, if the enemy's dodge rating is higher, they can dodge this frost damage. That's how I'm understanding this anyway. Radius. I wonder if this is AoE. What's our parry rating anyway? 106. And if we put this on, 116. Well, let's hold on to this for now and see how this frozen shackles work. And if they are worth keeping, or maybe I should give it to someone else. What was this? Sigil of Emotion, plus 10 control emotions, alright. And this was for Lantry only, yeah. Plus 10 lore and will defense. You got those, and you got nothing. Maybe I should give this to her. Oh, come here. I'll give this to you, my dear, for now. And I'm gonna take these. Makes so we can tank better. Now, do we have anything else here that I want to give to? Why do I have these? I should have sold these away. Anyway, do I want this? I don't think I do. I'm gonna sell this crap away when I can. Oh yeah, we can take your headdress off. Was that everything? Yes, that was everything. The back wall of this home has long since crumbled away, revealing the old walls behind it. Alright, let's just leave. Alright, I think that was the last house. Although there could be like one or two somewhere around here that I missed, but you know what, screw that. We'll get to those later, if I feel like it. And now to the smithery. Actually, I think I want to say something here real quick, and it's about that lesbian couple. Well, not specifically about the lesbian couple, but still. So anyway, I have heard some people criticizing this game for having social justice warrior influenced content in it. Like the lesbian couple, of course, being perhaps one of those things. And some people even went as far as to get triggered when, in the very first opening cinematic of the game, where the woman narrator, who I think is Ep, but I could be wrong. But anyway, so the narrator is obviously one of the women of the tiers. And at one point she said women and men instead of men and women. And that apparently triggered some people, which personally I think is ridiculous. But anyway, so some people have criticized this game for having social justice warrior bullshit in this. So that the game was catering towards LGBT community and other minorities and stuff like that. Now, what do I think about that? Well, personally, I haven't really run into any characters like that were like whose sexuality and ideals or stuff were forced on you. Like I haven't run into any obnoxious characters like that. The lesbian couple, for example, were not people like that in my opinion. I haven't run into any nearly as many characters as that one. I think it was a trans character in that Siege of Dragonspear expansion, which was developed by Beamdog for, I don't remember, was it for Baldur's Gate 1 or 2, but anyway, so in the Siege of Dragonspear, apparently there was a transvestite character who was not exactly trying to hide his or her sexuality or anything, and was very open about it, and people did not like that. They basically thought that the character was forcing LGBT social justice warrior bullshit on them, and it was very out of place. I personally can't comment on that because I haven't played that expansion or any of the Baldur's Gate games for that matter, so I can't really say anything about that. But that's what I have heard. So anyway, I have not run any characters like that in this game. So personally, I can't really disagree with some people who claim that there's so much social justice warrior bullshit in here. And besides, this is a completely different world with its completely different universe, with its different history, different culture, different everything. So I'm just gonna go with that. I'm just gonna go with that mentality. If women marrying each other in the tiers anyway is very common, then I'm just gonna accept it. Simple as that. Ah man, I was actually hesitated to talk about this because I don't really like to bring politics or any social justice warrior bullshit debates to my Let's Play videos, but I just thought that I had to give my own opinion on that matter. But anyway, enough about that. So, to the Forgebound Smithery. Okie dokie, so Ulantis, Master of Casting, and Lohara, Master of Tempering. But where is that one Forgebound with an impossible name to pronounce? Or maybe she was not here. Well, whatever. You don't mind if I take your plans, Headhunter. These plans detail how to forge the mythical blade known as Headhunter. This item can be created with access to Spireforge. upgrade and proper materials. Okie dokie.
Leave it to me.
Aha, okay. Forge-bound hammer. Okie dokie. I guess Barik could use this. I want to check out what it looks like at the very least. Alright, so... what does this baby look like? Fiery hammer, I like that. Like that a lot. Shame that this hammer is a little bit better. But then again, maybe armor penetration is more useful for the entire party. I mean, this character is not really about damage, and she doesn't really need that high recovery. Or accuracy for that matter. So let's go with this. We can always switch. Actually, I can move the hammer here. Why can't I move this here? I don't know. So that why can't this shield be in both slots? I don't know. Well, whatever. These worn iron weapons look as if they have been recently repaired and are being ready to be shipped back out. And some skycap and vagrant's jaw. This armor is newly made by the forge-bound. It is still warm to the touch. Alright, so let's start with Ulanti's Master of Casting. Ulanti surveys the room with an air of superiority. He addresses you without making eye contact. Is there something you want? What do you do here in the forge? I keep things running smoothly. Upkeep mostly. He smiles coyly. I am also second in command to Lohara, so in case anything ever happens to her, I'm here to take charge. Is there a problem? His eyes carefully watch Lohara as he answers you. Yes, but these are forge-bound matters. Nothing that concerns the High Court of Tunon, I can assure you. Well, whatever you say. So, Lohara. A muscular woman stands upright from her forge and turns to look at you. The light of the fire playing across her face, making her eyes dance dangerously. A toothy smile breaks across her mouth, the only bright spot on her soot-stained face. Do you kill with your left hand or your right? She rubs blackened palms together, eyeing you expectantly. Normally I can tell at a glance, but you are a little harder to read. Gleadher, I would like to know. Is that how they say hello in your hometown? Left, right? Well, we are using the hammer in our right hand, so yeah. Noted. She clears her throat and wipes her blackened hands on the canvas of her smock. I am Lohara, Master of Temperine and Forge Master of Lethian's Crossing. My tasks exceed the hours left in the day, but there is no harm in pausing my work if it means speaking with the Fatebinder. How may I be of assistance? I would like to talk to you about Barik. Shame that we don't have Barik with us right now, but yeah. What else can we ask? Why did you want to know if I kill with my right or left hand? Tell me about Lethian's Crossing, tell me about the Forge-bound. Can you make something for me? Are you well? You look weary. Tell me about the Forge-bound. For centuries, my guild has sought the union of magical and manual perfection. While others concern themselves with the arcane for the sake of inordinate power, we studied to overcome the traditional limits of our arts and crafts. The forge is our dominant concentration of study, but not all forge-bound work metal. Some are weavers, carpenters, and one of our other members fancies himself a chef. A chef, that would be interesting to see. The wise and mighty Kairos has been kind to our guild. He offered to put our weapons and armor in the hands of those who would change the world. A broad smile overcomes her face. And he has been true to his word. Forge-bound iron has trampled the tears, and all that oppose Kairos' forces rest their hands on forge-bound spears. What can you tell me about the forge-bound master? Can you make me something that's magical? Why make weapons if you could kill your foes with magic. How exactly do your magic help you make things? What can you tell me about the Forgebound Master? Xenia. Oh yeah, so that's the woman I was referring to. The one with a with a name that I find very hard to spell. Xenia is the best leader I have had the pleasure of working under. She guides the Forgebound with a steady yet stern hand, guaranteeing all of our work is of the utmost quality and peerless in every regard. I am Xenia's second, which is why I am the Forge Master for Lethian's Crossing. She points at Ulantis. He is my second. Should anything happen to me, I haven't worked with him long, so I don't know much about him, or the true long-lasting quality of his work, but he was appointed by Xenia, so he must be good at what he does. Something magical. Well, make weapons if you could kill your foes with magic. But using magic is not fun. My character would rather use her own physical strength to crush the skulls of her enemies. How exactly does your magic help you make things? Our most important rituals bind the crafter, tools and materials into one entity. She cracks a nervous smile. Close enough. In my own work, the forge bind draws the whole of my senses to the edge of the blade I am tempering. I can see the tiniest notch, or touch my finger to the blade and feel the razor sharpness without breaking my skin. Such perfect execution of art has its cost, of course. Once heart and lung become linked to flame and hammer, a chopped hammer could lead to a stopped heart. Most of our members die in the throes of their work, killed by a distraction or simple error. She blushes. We lose a lot of apprentices. Let's speak of something else. How may I be of assistance? And what about Lethian's Crossing? I don't see much of it, only this. She points to the roof and walls of the forge. Lethian and her merchant crew settled this area a while back. The brave fools built bridges over the old walls and made themselves a crossroads trading post. Real pioneer spirit stuff. The whole place might have been ignored by Chaos's forces, except somebody discovered there is iron everywhere. Can't wash your clothes in the river without them coming out rust-tinged. So the iron made Lethian's crossing important enough for Kairos to want it for himself. It made good sense to move some of us Forgebound here to Lethian's Crossing. Easier to put us near the iron instead of shipping it over mountains. That, and this is a crossroads, we can resupply our allies faster than ever from our new workshop. Are you well? You look weary. Ecstatic. Her voice is matter-of-fact, and a smile creeps in. The ritual of the forge links heart to hammer. My blood beats only when I strike my ingot. My forge runs too hot if my breath becomes too hurried. The bond is both fatiguing and exhilarating. Couldn't that kill you? Is that how you excel at your craft? Couldn't that kill you? I should hope so. She laughs, her face blushing the color of molten metal. Better than being defiled and killed by brigands, poisoned by grain rot, or slain by childbirth. Would not a soldier wish to die in battle? Well, yeah, I guess you could see it that way. Fascinating. Let's speak out some other matters. So, can you make something for me? Can? She lifts an eyebrow. Most certainly. Will? Well, Kairos invented quiz. How did you spell this word again? Cues for a reason. She lets slip a sigh. I have every Iron Walker and every Scarlet Chorus ringleader sending me bribes and flattery in hopes that I'll work off schedule and make them some special this or one of a kind that. Her mouth moves as if to speak, but she falls silent, holding her arms. Subterfuge? I did not realize the request was so thoughtless. My apologies. I will pay you very, very well. Yeah, you know what? Forget I asked. That I will. I guess we could I guess we could now mention Barik. I would like to talk to you about Barik. What about him? So she actually knows him. I would like you to free my friend from his armored prison. I hoped you would examine Barik. Yeah, I guess the second option is a bit wiser, because Tunon did say that anyone loyal to Kairos is forbidden from helping Barik out of his armored prison. So I guess we can all we can do is ask her to examine him, and maybe we can learn more about his condition. I hoped you would examine Barik. Did the adjudicator not issue an injunction against precisely that action? Indeed, he sent the decision by bird to each of the guild workshops. If you merely look him over, that's not exactly against the adjudicator's decree, is it? That was his decision. No, I'm deciding otherwise. Okay, this is a bit too bold. As a Fatebinder, I speak with the Archon's voice. Yeah, Tunon is not going to be very happy with us if I picked any of these two. If only we had Diplomat. So there's Diplomat, War Mage, and Guild Apprentice options here as well, which we can't pick, of course, because we picked the Pitfighter background. But anyway, I guess that going against Tunon's authority a little bit would be like my character. I mean, she's not the type of character who would kiss Tunon's ass. She would only follow the rules and laws just so that she won't get into trouble. But if you merely look him over there, that's not exactly against adjudicator's decree, is it? Yeah, maybe this is a bit too bold. Yeah, let's just go with the first one. These two are a bit too bold for my character, I think. If you merely look him over, that's not exactly against the adjudicator's decree, is it? Allow me to state this in no uncertain terms, Fatebinder. The Forgebound swore our allegiance to Tunon, the adjudicator, Archon of Justice. We do not easily forget that oath, nor do we rush to circumvent it. Our fastidiousness is not limited to our craft. And again, more fancy words that I have no idea what they mean. Fastidiousness. I don't suppose that you know any skilled smiths who lack your ironclad sense of loyalty. How many rings to commission this forge? Thanks for your time. I don't suppose that you know any skilled smiths who lack your ironclad sense of loyalty. But I wonder, so with this question, are we referring to Forgebound Smith specifically, or any Smith in general? I suppose that you know any skilled Smiths who lack your ironclad sense of loyalty. I bet that she's going to be she's not going to be very happy about this. You ask me to be an accomplice to your crime? Well, not really. There may be an individual who can help you. Rumor has it that there's a mage smith of some manner in the Stone Sea. Oh yeah, Stone Sea. That's where Cacophony is. Okie. By all rights, she should have been killed. So I assume that she's worked out a deal with that glowing green bastard Nerat. I cannot provide you with a name, but you might ask around Half Gate if you have the misfortune of being in that area. I appreciate it, Lohara. Really, I do. Goodbye, Fatebinder. As far as I'm concerned, this conversation never occurred. Yeah, I'm completely understandable. Okay, so you have heard of a mage smith in the Stone Sea that works outside of Kairos' law. She may be able to assist you. All right, we'll do that at some point. So, So I'm just thinking here that maybe we could send this lawless the mage smith, maybe as mage smith's outlaw to the voices of Nerat. And maybe that way we are not pissing Tunon off either, because we are not sending an actual legal forge bound to Cacophony. But we'll see when the time comes. But I'm quite sure that I was supposed to get a quest of some kind from this place. From Xenia herself. But I don't see her here. Maybe I'm supposed to get that a bit later. And what was this? Journal. What was this? Return to Splinter Cacophony and report your success. Oh yeah, we have already did that. We already did this quest a couple of episodes ago. Alright, well, I guess there is nothing else here for now, so let's leave. Okay, but now, where to? Well, I guess we could go to this side and see if there's any houses that I have missed. Other than that, I don't really know what to do here.
Can't do that.
I thought we were supposed to get a quest from the Forge-bound smithery, but we didn't get it. Not yet anyway. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, I think we have already been there. And no other houses. Doesn't look like it, no. Lots of doors, but we can't enter. We can only enter some specific doors with this symbol on them. Alright. Let's check our quests real fast. Where were they? Here. Alright, so the fire engine, what was this? You learned that Crocus and Irissa, one of the Apex soldiers who destroyed Versus gang, can be located among a group of Unbroken at the Torn Strand. Travel there with Verse to confront her. Oh yeah, this is Versus personal quest. The Silence of Secrets. You have retrieved the Silent Archive. Return to Cacophony and speak with the voice of Nerad to let him know of your success. Yeah, alright. And Trial of Archons. Oh yeah, so this is a long-term quest from Tunon. So let's see, what do we have? Evidence against Graven Ash. All uncovered evidence will be listed here. Graven Ash was acting on deep-seated animosity against the voice of Nerad during and before the conquest. That his favored were ineffectual at getting Cairn at Archon of Stone to follow orders. None of these are actual evidence against voice of Nerad, against Graven Ash, in my opinion. But the voice of Nerad, now he has done some shady shit. The voice of Nerad wanted the Forge-bound master taken from Tunon's care and sent to him. And the voice of Nerad was using Harkiant prawns to funnel weapons to the Vengeance Guard. That's quite serious, I would imagine. And at the Burning Library, the censor sought the forbidden knowledge of the Silent Archive. And the censor pit horde soldiers against one another as part of a sadistic game. I don't see how the last part here is supposed to be evidence in this case. I mean that's just the chorus way, but whatever. Things are not looking so good for the voice of Nerad. The Weight of Ages. Oh yeah, this is Barik's quest. Steering Visions and Investigate the Spires. Another long-term quest about the Spires. An opportune offensive. Oh yeah, so I guess we could go to Cacophony, have a quick trip to Cacophony, and deliver those two quests and complete them. Maybe the Chorus Quartermaster will actually sell me some good stuff now. She wasn't allowed to sell me anything last time I was there, but maybe things will be different this time. Oh, and says Secluded Forge. Ah, so it's that close to Cacophony. Well, might as well go there. A small smithy rests on the outskirts of the city, overlooking a deep gorge. A plume of smoke rises from each chimney, marking its presence well before it comes into sight. Well, let's go there. Any random encounters? Of course. An abrupt storm drives you into the shelter of a public house built under a colossal stone overhang. Travelers from across the tiers share the space with you, warily eyeing one another in near silence until the thin stew and thin air loosens the lips of the gathered. A wiry woman with midnight skin sets a large gourd on a stone near the back of the cave. She challenges you to a game of daggers, in which players compete to throw identical knives at a target. The person who hits the nearest center in 3 tries wins. Well, that sounds fun. The purse, she states, will be 20 copper rings. Well, that's basically nothing. Assuming that it's copper rings. Attempt athletics. Play fairly or cheat. Suggest a companion play. Yeah, because I don't think that I have athletics. I wonder which stat would be the best one for this. I think subterfuge would be the best stat. Well, anyway, so let's suggest a companion play. The dark-haired traveler looks your companions over and asks derisively which of your friends you think is game for the challenge. Choose Lantry, choose Verse. It's kind of interesting how I can only choose Lantry and Verse, but not Sirin for some reason. But anyway, I wanted Verse, so doesn't really matter. I think that Verse got the best eye when it comes to shooting arrows and throwing daggers. Verse stretches and cracks her neck, and the woman watches with apprehension as the Scarlet Fury steps to the throwing mark. Verse hurls her first dagger with a shout that pierces your ears. The blade passes entirely through the gourd, rupturing it into pieces that spatter the dirt floor. Verse turns to you and the woman, shrugs, and sits back down to enjoy her meal. The challenger, entirely cowed, doesn't speak to you again. Alright, so we got some more loyalty with Verse, and we got copper rings, yeah. And there's a lore here. The Imperial Copper Ring is the Overlord's currency, the official money across the continent. The copper ring is the smallest denomination, making it the base unit of the Overlord's accounting. Traditionally, these are never worn on the hand as jewelry. Only during active haggling and counting does one put these on the hand to quickly show groups of 5 and 10s. Okay. So wait, we got... Oh wait, at first I thought, wait a minute, did we actually get over one iron ring? But no, this just shows that how much we got right now. Inspired, oh, that's nice. Plus 5% precision. I wonder how long these last. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's continue. That was fun. Okay, so we entered a house straight away. Alright, so her name is Lucentia. A bronze axe. Is it any better than what Verse has? Oh wait, it's comparing it to her bow. Whatever, let's just pick that up and compare it to her katars and daggers real quick. Nah, it's shit, as I thought. A much abused earthenware jug dominates this small table, the only flat surface in this room not apparently dedicated to the smith's craft. An Arabic odor of strong stale wine lurks in the air around it. Oh, merchant tunic. Let's check what this would look like on Sirin. It looks alright. It looks alright. But I kinda like the fancy dress more. But I can always put this back on if I think she needs more deflection and defenses in general. And... ah, damn it. Maybe... Maybe I should first go to Cacophony and then bring Barik here with me. Later. Yeah, I think that makes more sense, so... Sorry for bothering you, but we'll come back later. Lucentia, whatever your name was. So the Cacophony. And here we are. Okay, so first we're gonna deliver the side quest. I think the guy was over here. This Splinter, yeah. Hail, Fatebinder. Mightn't there be something I can help you with, for the right price? I have slain this favorite in the wilderness near Lethian's crossing, and also recruited the surviving Bronze Brotherhood folks. He cranes his neck and sniffs, waiting. Finally he clears his throat. And the proof we settled on? I killed the soldiers to aid the chorus, but I had no intentions of needlessly dismembering the enemy. Hand him bloodstained sack, as agreed. Ah, so I actually did bring their part. What did he want? I think it was fingers or ears or something like that. I actually got worried there for a second that, wait a minute, did I forget to actually pick up the ears or fingers or something for this quest? But apparently I didn't. At least, or at least I didn't need to do that manually and pick up them as items or anything. Or we could lie. I left the sack full of dismembered fingers for you in your tent. Right. Well, let's just hand them over. As agreed. 1,000 rings. Nice. He cackles. Oh, I'm going to make good use of these. Right. Here's the rings we agreed upon. I still wonder whether they were fingers or ears. And what good is he going to make of those? I have no idea. Maybe I don't even want to know. More importantly than that, I was able to convince some Bronze Brotherhood to join the chorus. 2,500 rings, fuck yes. Better results than I expected. Don't get to say that often around here. Fine, here's the rings we agreed upon. So I got 3,500 rings, that's fucking great. Look, I like working with you, despite things. He twirls his hands to expound on the unspoken. Like you being a Fatebinder. I've got a few more bits and bobs to tidy up if you're interested, but I'm also going to do you a favor and send you to Sanguinari on the upper plateau. She's got a situation I think you'll want to handle. Sanguinari. Oh yeah, I think she's one of those Scarlet Furies we saw here earlier, but she wasn't really willing to talk to us. But now she will. I wish to aid course operations out of Cacophony. What's the situation report? Got a couple of storms brewing. A number of defectors from resistance groups around the tiers have come to swear fealty to their voices, or they were coming before they were captured by disfavored troops en route. The defectors need to be rescued and then properly brought into the fold. We can't have them singing our secrets before they have even learned the damn song, now can we? But we'll decide what to do with them once they are under our care again. I'll find a deal with the captured defectors. Yeah. Boulder Reef Village. Last our scout spotted, the defectors have reached Boulder Reef in the Stone Sea before the disfavor took them in the night. You should start there. Yeah, I will. Not in this episode, I think, but... yeah. And then to Sanguinary. New quest, foes befriended. And I think she's here. Yeah, this one. What is it? Make it good or make yourself scarce. I'm a little busy, stitching myself back together. Grimy fingers squeeze the edges of a long gash on her thigh together while she splashes amber liquid from a dirt-smeared bottle onto her wound. A flat bone sewing needle and black thread sit on a small wooden stool next to her. Actually, a fellow named Splinter suggested I speak with you about a problem you're having. Yeah. She barks a jerking laugh. inadvertently spilling more liquor from the bottle. That's one thing to call him. Got to wonder what that horde postal thinks he's up to, sending a fate binder my way. She signs and sets the bottle aside, sitting into her palm to leave the residual dirt away before groping for the flat stitching needle. He's not wrong though. She crunches as the needle pierces her skin. I do need the help. A squad of fucking oathbound got up as near Vendrian's well. There was 5 of us, Furies. Well, no, before that it was 9. She falls silent, stitching sloppily but with concentration. Then, that quick, it was only me. I managed to take a couple. I managed to take a couple down before. She waves a grimy hand over the wound in explanation. I didn't retreat. I ran, and it hurt to do it. I want you to find those oathbound and avenge my sisters. Ah, so very similar quest to Versus. She bends over her thigh and snaps the black thread with her teeth. When she rises back, she takes the remaining length of thread and ties it into a jumbled knot and then swallows it. She rubs painfully at her chest. I want them dead, and I want it to hurt first. I do not have time to hunt for oathbound in the Avengers Will. Now I do have the time. I'll avenge your fellow Furies. She nods, but her attention seems to be taken by the act of testing herself, stomping her freshly mended leg and slapping at the wound. Without looking at you, voice strained, she answers, "See that you do." Alright, so we have got 2 new side quests. And now, lastly but certainly not least, to the voice of Nerad. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Sitting there, contemplating. Fatebinder, help me! Oh, they were actually people who are alive here. Chrysantha, and she said his favorite. Interesting. But yeah, so the voice of Nerad here is just contemplating, thinking about the meaning of life and all that deep stuff. So yeah, Nerad. The voice of Nerad regards you with an unreadable expression. Well, I think that his expression is always unreadable, considering that he doesn't really have a real face. Maybe we should kill them all and start again. That would be a delight. Bah! We can always dispatch our howling mob when Ash and his iron claws are a stain on this country. Fatebinder, always a pleasure. What do you need to know? We are dizzy with answers. I would like to report on recent events. Party has received twice worded periapt. You returned victorious, and our censor has come back to the fold with a wealth of intelligence, as much as her meager brain could hold under the circumstances. But do not grow complacent. We have much work to do before the tears are draped in scarlet robes. The flames behind his mask lick around the eye holes with anticipation. You gained favor with the Scarlet Chorus. We must thank you, dear Fatebinder, for delivering the Silent Archive into our. The flames of his body sizzled through the seams of his rags. Safekeeping. Several of our mothers always told us, aim low and avoid disappointment, for it always makes the unexpected win a most ravaging bout of ecstasy. I like how he said several of our mothers. You're welcome. What's next? Why is the Silent Archive so important to you? Well, duh, because it has tons of secrets and knowledge, of course. So we can of course assume that you destroyed it, as per Kairos' prohibition of forbidden lore. Now we don't really care about that. Say nothing. So you are the Archon of Secrets, right? Tell me a secret. What's the value of that thing? A modest finder's fee seems fair on principle. Nah, this doesn't sound like my character. I'm going to need proof that you destroyed the Silent Archive. Well, I guess my character could inquire on this. So we can of course assume that you destroyed it, as per Kairos' prohibition of forbidden lore. Yeah, I guess that this is what my character would inquire. We went as far as making sure the censor was punished for even handling the loathsome relic. Okay, now I feel kind of bad for I feel kind of bad for giving it to her and make her send it. The Archon titles its mask sideways. We are honestly a bit surprised you didn't keep it for yourself. We wouldn't have said anything. Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't have. I'm going to need proof that you destroyed the Silent Archive. Well, I'm not going to I'm not gonna inquire that much. I'm not gonna be that strict. Why is the Silent Archive so important to you? Well, yeah. So you're welcome. What's next? The Edict of Fire is quenched, and the ruins smolder no more. Yet we detect a fire all the same. A wicked Fatebinder. It burns in your heart, warming you with knowledge and great power. Do not deny it. You have changed before our many eyes. Well, I can't deny that. The Edict of Fire still lives within me. I can't quite explain it. I am more experienced, perhaps, but not more powerful. What do you think it could mean? Yes. Well, my character is not really about magic using and arcane knowledge or that stuff, so this is all new to her. What do you think it could mean? Respectful Fatebinder. So few dare to ask our opinion that we are much out of practice. We believe you are a seed of greatness. Whether you sprout into the next Archon or an oddly shaped pumpkin from here is anyone's guess, though be assured that we will be watching. Oh, I'm sure you will be. But enough of this. We demand progress, and nothing will ever get done if you insist on plaguing us with frivolity. The Blade Grave is a beautiful pocket of disorder. An edict shreds the land to ribbons, and soldiers by the hundreds are led into the furnace of war. Angry sons of old stalwart, dubbing themselves Unbroken class spears with the disfavored. And about the Unbroken? The Unbroken Legion was the proud and accomplished army of the realm of Stalwart. Citing their victories as evidence of skill, they prided themselves on never facing defeat while fighting on home soil. After the Edict of Storms tore apart Stalwart and twisted it into their Blade Grave, barely a 20th of the Unbroken's former strength survived to continue the war against Kairos' forces. We can use the Edict and the conflict to our benefit. They keep the disfavored occupied and the tears within our grasp. While these idiot juggernauts bash each other into ruin, we can extract what we need. The daughter of Graven Ash has been a prisoner to these stalwart wretches. Secure her for us, and fetch her to Cacophony straight away. Inviting Ash's progeny into the fold is an advantage we cannot ignore. Seek out also Jacket Remedy in Trapper's Junction. He has cornered a Belequered unit of Unbroken. Help him recruit their leader, Matthias, into the fold, that he might help us reach the Jewel of the Realm, the great keep of Sentinel Stand. Had we the resources, we would split you in pieces and send you to represent our interests wherever you go. As you can only follow one path at a time, for now, we leave the choice to you. The Blade Grave or Lethian Crossing, whichever you choose, return to Cacophony when your mission is complete. What can you tell me about Blade Grave? Did we read this? The Blade Grave is the name given to that what remains of the realm of Stalwart after its ruination when Kairos proclaimed the Edict of Storms upon the lands. The magical storms struck the disfavored and unbroken armies during the height of their engagement. Now most of what remains is a blighted landscape of discarded armor and weapons, and high winds of rust and human dust. Gross. Where is the sensor? I have questions about the sensor. I will go to the Blade Grave. I will go to the Lethian's Crossing next. So maybe I can get that quest from the Forgebound if I go to Lethian's Crossing. But where is the censor? She's been dispatched away to handle other matters. We don't allow our recruits to luxuriate in success or grow too stagnant. That attracts flies. Well, fair enough. What can you tell me about Lethian's crossing? Well, I do pretty much know everything about it, but I want to hear if he has anything different to say about it. The Forgebound are the true gem of the crossing. They are keepers of the secret of iron, so a tight-lipped bunch by nature. Anything important I should know about it? The whole wordless village is little but filthy peasants and listless refugees. They would barely make suitable slaves, much less minds worthy of discourse. Only the Forgebound are of concern, the rest eminently expendable. Let me ask something else. Ask, but take care what you don't. But take care that you don't try our patience. What can you tell me about the Blade Grave? Before our conquest, it was the region of Stalwart, warlike and fiercely independent in character. The regent bloodline ruled by their torrid and often inbred lines of succession. Of course, Edict of Storms has thrown all of that to disorder. Who rules the area now? A complex question with no clear answer. The Unbroken Legion, a rebel group of veterans from the Stalwart army, struggle to maintain hold by force of arms. Behind the walls of Sentinel stand, the last of the regents lives out his days, no doubt thinking himself as strong and relevant as ever. And tell me about the Graven Asher's daughter. As severe and uncompromising as her idiot father, we would liken her to a tower shield with a voice like a ram's horn warped out of tune. We met the girl but once, and we nearly came to blows. If war and the passage of years have softened her temper, then we should get along magnificently when you present her at Cacophony. And lastly, Edict of Storms. Swirling maelstorms now blast the land and Sentinel stand. The fortified heart of the Blade Grave is both trapped and imprisoned by Kairos' edict. The cowardly regent who survived the war hides there to this day, protected and imprisoned by Kairos' anger. Only by piercing the unforgiving fabric of a storm could anyone reach its heart and drive a blade through its core. Kairos drafted the Edict of Storms to punish the defenders of Stalwart for hiding behind the walls of their keep. The wording of the edict specifies that the death of Stalwart's ruling family will end the storm. To this day, the locals are welcome and encouraged to assassinate their former ruler. Alright. Ask about something else. Damn it, folks, I don't really know. I wish I could do both of them. I really wish I could. Let me think about this. Your thoughts are no concern of ours, at this juncture. When you have come to a decision, speak with Seven Toes. Seven Toes, and he is over there. Alright. And Chrysantha, what about you? So what's your deal? Why are you still alive? Help, Fatebinder, help! Over here, you can't let them torture me. Please, do something. Convict me if you can't set me free. What crimes have you committed that would warrant my involvement? Whether I can help you or not depends on if you're willing to join the chorus. I'll deal with you later. Sorry, I'm not in the habit of condemning others to mercy. Whether I can help you or not depends if you're willing to join the chorus. She balks. Are you toying with me? I would sooner die. It's only a matter of time before they toss me to the voices, whether I serve them or not. Well, damn. What crimes have you committed that would warrant my involvement? Or, sorry, I'm not in the habit of condemning others to mercy. No, please, don't leave me! A battered dirt-caked arm reaches vainly through the narrow bars of her cage. Damn, I feel bad for her. Can I still? Yes, I can. Yeah, I don't really care. Even though I do feel bad for her, but my character doesn't. Okay, so... So we need to decide... Well, it is possible that we can do both those areas, Lethian's Crossing and Blade Grave, I think it was, and not Graven Blade. Well, anyway, Blade Grave. So it is possible that we can do both of them, but assuming that we can do only one of the two, this is rather tough. Well, I'll think about that off screen after after I finish this episode, and you can also you can also tell me your opinions, and tell me if you want me to go to Lethian's Crossing or Graveblade. Which area are you interested in the most? So if you want me to go to if you want me to go to either Lethian's Crossing or Blade Grave, then let me know in the comments. I won't guarantee that I will pick the location you want me to go to, but you can always suggest. Boulder Reef Village. The stone pillars that house this village have been steadily collapsing over the last few months, more dramatically affected by the ongoing quakes than most sections of the Stone Sea. Boulder Reef was once the northern sister settlement to Plainsgate, but has since been fully abandoned. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is that Matani River. The eastern side of the Matani River gives way to lightly wooded but hilly terrain. With no clear sight lines, small groups can easily move undetected. And its favored outbound unit has taken advantage of the area's geography to deadly effect. Alright, so I guess in the next episode we're gonna do these. We're gonna do the two side quests that leads us to these places. But anyway, so what I was going to say that now we'll go to Mountain Spire, get Barik, and then we go to this secluded forge here and see if that Lucianto or whatever the mage smith's name was is going to examine Barik and maybe even get him out of his armor, possibly. But yeah, so, be right back. Oh, and a random encounter. Along the road, you cross paths with a trio of tearsmen clad in the ragged remnants of noble finery. They appear haggard, hands blemished with dirt, faces sunburned and peeling. Their guard has been reduced to 2 men in dented bronze, each sporting mangy beards and visible exhaustion. One of the tearsmen notes your banner and hails you. With grim stoicism, the woman explains that she, her husband and his sister travel from their home towards the bastard city to bend the knee to the Archon of Justice and swear eternal fealty to the Overlord's glorious rule. Unfortunately, they have been harried incessantly by highwaymen and Scarlet Chorus raiders alike, and fear they may not live to see their destination. Speak with them, conscript them, attempt primary weapon, attack them. No. Oh wait, so there we go. Noble finery. Okay, so they are not soldiers, but just simple peasants and stuff. I think that conscripting them is a bit too cruel, even though we are pro Scarlet Chorus, but and they did say that they are going to bend the knee to the Archon of Justice. So yeah, let's just speak with them. Your weapons remain sheathed, even as you demand the refugees attend your authority as a Fatebinder of Tunon. Though the woman matches your gaze with steady resolve, the reminder of the Quintet exchange nervous glances among themselves. Oh, so they have weapons, weapons, alright. Oh wait, your weapons remain sheathed. Ah, okay. So, escort them? I don't think I want to go as far as to escort them. Accept the oaths? Yeah, might as well do that. You explain to the group that as a Fatebinder, you serve as an extension of the Adjudicator's court, an enforcer of his will. You offer to accept their pledges of fealty in his absence for a nominal fee. They quickly thank you for your offer, and in a brief ceremony just off the road, you legally confer on them the benefits of Kairos' peace in exchange for their oaths of service. So we get 200 copper rings, that's nice. And favor with Lethian's crossing, alright. You grant them a decree that should shield them from predation by servants of the court, but warn them that it will provide no succor from brigands. The guards seem revitalized by even this small respite, and the group resolves to continue on to the bastard city to join the court. Alright, that went well. Can we now get to the secluded forts, please? Alright, so... Oh, and Barik also got a level. Might as well deal with this real quick. 2 points. Alright, let's give it to Might and... Bonus health would be nice, I think. Yeah, sure. And talents... Engagement attack 2. Increase the chance of Barik's engagement attacks to a core. Suffer into strength. Once per combat, when Barik's health is critical, he gains a bonus to might and resolve on the combat ends. Glory to the... it says a once per combat, alright. Glory to the bold. For each enemy engaging him, Barik gains a bonus to any damage he deals. Well, let's do that, and... Well, let's pick that. Alright, cool. Alright, so, Lucentia. Cool air still steers your clothes as you step into the small workshop. Despite the lit forge, you see against the back wall. A dark-robed woman stalls the center of the space, fingers dancing against her chin, eyebrows furrowed in thought. Sooty smears on her skin suggest she touches her face often. She spares you an initially dismissive glance, but follows it with a surprised double take. Oh, fuck me, the Fatebinder. I mean, what brings you to my humble atelier? I need you to examine my friend Barik. Nice forge, who are you? I take it you know me. Does anybody not? Spires don't exactly light up like the sun every day. Yeah. Well, let's go straight to the point. I need you to examine my friend Barik. This one, I assume. He's pointy. Her gaze wanders around Barik's assortment of sharp edges.
Mostly on top of his head.
Must you always be an ass, Verse?
I love these two's banter. I just love it.
As we said back in Ass Gang, once an ass, always an ass.
Oh man.
Damn it, Fatebinder, why can't you leave this be?
Wait, are you talking to me? I don't... whatever. Leave what be? I hoped you might... Oh yeah. I think that Barik at one point said that, since Tuno won't allow a forge bound to free me, then fuck it, whatever. So, I hoped you might free Barik of this bronze and iron prison. Currently he is pretty bad at climbing, sneaking, swimming, and using the privy unassisted. I would like you to address that. Get it out of that armor. I hoped you might free Barik of his bronze and iron prison, or just simply get him out of that armor. Yeah, just get him out of there.
Fatebinder, you know as well as I that Tunon forbade this. I cannot be complicit.
Well, Barik, you know that Lucentia is not a legal forge bound, and thus she is not loyal to Kairos, and thus we are not. So we are not going against. We are not going against his commands. We are not going against his orders.
Oh, just what will you do? Sit on the floor and cross your arms like a child?
I like the versus tone of voice there.
If I must. If that will make the Fatebinder see reason.
You are oath-bound to follow my orders, Barik, so I order you to stand still and shut up. I promise you that this will be for the best, friend. Let me deal with the legal ramifications. Nah, we are not that friendly. You are oath-bound to follow my orders, Barik. I order you to stand still and shut up.
As you command, Fatebinder.
My grinding issues from the depths of the twisted armor. I assume that you want to come out. I assume that you want to come out. That you want to come out with all your bits regardless, right? Then hold still and quiet down. Before anything else, I need to ask you a few questions. You're gonna ask for payment, aren't you? What manner of questions? Ask away. Just answer the questions, Barik. I understand that there may be things we can't tell you. Just answer the questions, Barik. I won't ask anything political or tactical, only matters personal. Hardly reassuring. First, have you ever engaged in sexual congress? How is that relevant to this? I don't know, but... What? I don't... How can that... That can't be relevant. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. That cannot be relevant. He doesn't understand the first thing about mystic sympathy, does he? The smith frowns and looks to you. I have to admit, Barik, I'm curious too. Yeah, Barik, mystical sympathies and such. It's important, Barik, particularly in the case of a possible convergence of arcane energies to rule out resonant adulteration. What? Whatever. I have to admit, Barik, I'm curious too. This is no mere matter of curiosity. Before I understand what your friend's situation is, I need to be certain of what it isn't. The armor has prevented anything from happening recently, regardless of whether or not I wanted it to. Before that, well, the Legion is... I spent people I cared for deeply. We are the pride of the North, strong and beautiful. He creaks quietly. I get it, Barik. Sparring is like dancing. It gets pretty hot. Do not compare the virtuous combat rituals of the disfavored to your scarlet rotting. And that's all I shall speak of it. I have never passed time with a mage, or archon, oath-bound beastwoman or anything else unusual. Nothing unusual. I have always heard that there is a special bond between a disfavored officer and their submissives. Sorry, subordinates. Is there anything you are unwilling to soil with your perversion, witch? You wore forge-bound armor during the conquest, correct? The smith nods. And prior to it. Was it sigil woven, enchanted against harm? I do not believe so. It was iron. Have you had sigils of any kind branded into your skin? I bear the mark of the disfavored and nothing else. The mark of the disfavored, or... let's just remain silent. You bear Graven Ash's sigil? Of course. I have heard it said that Graven Ash protects. The sages had no direct knowledge of the Archon of War's abilities, but there were many theories. I don't suppose you can provide any concrete information. You ask me to reveal the great general's secrets to a mage? That is too much. Just tell her, Barik. Archon Ash shares a strong connection with his soldiers. It allows him to take on some of their harm while also sharing in their experiences. Well, I don't think that this is a big secret. Ash can heal his soldiers. Barik, if you don't tell her, she can't help you. Well, even though we could go into big details, how he heals his soldiers and such, I don't think that my character would go into that deep detail. Ash can heal his soldiers. Fatebinder. His gasp contains anger and disbelief in equal measure. And you do not need repairs or maintenance on the armor, I presume. Aside from oiling it and filling down the pointier bits? No. Wait, how did you know that? Metal grinds quietly. The smith stares at Barik in thoughtful silence before retrieving from the forge a long bar of iron, its end glowing red from the heat. She holds it out to you. No, let's just take it. Next you'll want to stick that into him, through his armor. It's going to hurt regardless, but I suspect quicker would be better. She leans towards you, lowering her voice. Return the iron to her? I can't. Of course we can. Why wouldn't we? Are you insane? Well, let's just trust her abilities. Stab Barik. Howling in agony, Barik staggers backwards, grasping at his side. The smell of burnt flesh hits your nostrils a moment later. Reaching down, Lucentia grabs the iron rod and tucks it from Barik's side, eliciting another scream of pain. She takes a step back as his gauntlet swings out in a wild attempt to backhand her. Fucking shit on an ill-starred beast, mother of asses! Well, that's a mouthful. What in the great general's name, woman? To Lucentia, was that necessary? To Barik? It'll be okay, Barik. You have faced worse. Yeah, you have faced worse. A hiss issues forth from within his helmet. I suppose that's true, though usually with a bit more warning. He twists his torso in an attempt to get a look at the wound. Amazing! The smith holds up the sizzling metal prod, drawing a sigil in the air with her free hand. I'll leave that to you. The queasy type, huh? Wouldn't have expected that from a Fatebinder. I didn't pick the examine the wound option because I'm squeezy. Far from it, but I just didn't care to look at it. Your armor and flesh heal as one. Is that a standard property among the disfavored? She straightens, peering into Barik's mismatched eyes. Not to my knowledge. His armor heals, so what? Then we are finally getting somewhere, right? So his armor heals, so what? It generally means I have got a sense of what's going on. She taps her lips in thought. I have a working theory, but what I can't make out is what differentiates you from the other disfavored who serve in the Blade Grave. Maybe it's some trick of the blood, maybe it's your connection to the Fatebinder, maybe something else. But I barely knew the Fatebinder prior to Vendrian's well. There's a lot we don't understand about how the world works. Kairos' strictures against literacy and inquiry don't exactly help. She glances at you. Choose your words carefully, Smith. I'm not going to turn you in. I appreciate that, Fatebinder. Sentinels and outskirts. Isn't that in what was it called? Blade's Grave. Before I can suggest a solution, I'll need a sample of alloyed iron and bronze from the side of your entrapment. About this much should do. She holds her open palms about 6 inches apart. We'll get you the sample. Can't we just cut that much off of Barik? If I happen upon some, I'll consider bringing it to you. Can't we just cut that much off of Barik? Fatebinder! No, I'm afraid. Even if Barik were here disposed to the idea, she raised an eyebrow. I am not. I need this a sample as a point of comparison. Taking it from him would be meaningless. Well, we'll get you the sample then. Then I await your return. She turns from you, peering thoughtfully into her slack top and the iron rod within. Okie dokie. So, have Barik examined by a smith? Well, we just did that. but we now have to get the sample. Alright, so, and I also noticed that we got a new missive. Yeah, but actually, let's go back to my spire, because I'm not gonna take Barik with me. I want Lantry back, because, well, he's our main healer. So let's go back to my spire for now. And here we are. Now, how did I... Well, let's just talk to Lantry.
One moment, my friend. Just let me finish this thought.
Ending his note with a flourish, Lantry licks the tip of the quill, pausing to taste it a second and third time before tucking the pen in the holster on his sleeve. So what's on your mind? Did you want to discuss matters of the present, or would you prefer a more scholarly rant? Let's add him to our party. Gather your things, you're coming with me.
I can sober up on the road. Ready to go.
Lantry scratches his eyebrow, leaving streaks of sepia ink in his white hairs. Yeah, so...
Be seeing you, Fatebinder.
Well, we'll take Barik with us again at some point. You know, at first I thought that Barik was perhaps one of the most boring companions in the game, but I'm starting to like him even more and more. And especially every time when I see and listen to his and versus banter. Alright, so before we end this episode here, let's check this missive or letter. A matter archival. This is from Tunon, right? No, it's from Regalus. Fatebinder Brehana, forgive me the curtness of this rushed missive. The matter is too urgent for the luxury of formalities. I know that you braved the flaming ruins of the Vellum Citadel. The archive, did you find it? Is it safe? Tell him you gave it to the Archon of Secrets. Lie, tell him you kept it. Or lie, tell him you never found it. Or ask him, what would we say if we asked this? Or if we said this? You seem to possess more than a passing familiarity with the silent archive. I thought it was something of a secret. Perhaps an exchange of information is in order. Tell me what you know of it, and I can provide you with its current whereabouts. No. Archon of Secrets? I thought there no better bearer of the archive than the Overlord's appointed Archon of Secrets. The voice of Nerad now possessed the lore of the sages. I trust you agree that this was the wise and legal course of action. Fatebinder Brehana. Well, I don't really see any reason to lie to him either. Yeah, let's just send it. And one day till we get the answer. And journal, nothing new here. Alright, so I'm gonna end this episode here, and now that we got us, and now that Barik's own personal quest leads us to, and now that we know that it leads us to Bladegrave, I think that I have decided that in the next episode we go back to the Cacophony and tell the what was his name, Five Toes or whatever the guy's name was, that we'll be going to Bladegrave and kidnap Graven Ash's daughter from Sentinel Stand and bring her to Cacophony, and then we can use her as a bargaining chip against Graven Ash. I think that's what I'm gonna do. But if you really want me to go to Lethian's Crossing, then tell me in the comments. I won't guarantee that I will go there even if you want me to, but you can always voice your opinions. That's all I'm saying. And besides, I'm quite sure that we can still do Lethian's Crossing anyway, but just in case. And besides, Bladegrave sound is a lot more interesting place than Lethian's Crossing. I guarantee that. I have actually been in Bladegrave in my first playthrough, so I know this place quite well. So yeah, so that's my plan for the next episode. Well, actually, in the next episode, I think we're gonna do these two side quests at first, and see how long those will take. And then maybe after that we go to Bladegrave, and maybe either do Barik's quest first, or we go and do versus quest first, or both of them. We'll see. Depends how long it takes to complete these two. But yeah, that's my plan for the next episode. But now, thank you for watching once again, and see you next time for more Tyranny.